Hi, my name is Steven and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about things that I want to do in my free time. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, it's often hard to slow down and take a breather in our busy, chaotic lives, and take some of that free time to indulge in just the little things in life. So when we have that free time, we can actually let go a little bit and focus on the things that truly relaxes us, or at the very least, reset our minds so that we're beginning anew again after our free time. For me, that time off is a chance to reconnect with my passions, hobbies, and even chores, and help me ease away from the chaotic, hectic life that I lead. And at the end of the day, it helps me to focus on my personal desires and self-fulfillment activities. So over the past year, I've had a lot of challenges with my family and work life, and I didn't have a lot of vacation time to just dedicating to myself. This meant that I didn't have large blocks of time to myself. I had to break it out in small segments over the past year, which means it's harder to fully rest before you have to get back into the grind of things. But now that I took a couple of weeks off, I can get back into the things that truly bring me some joy. So join me when I go through the things that I want to do with some free time on my hands. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my background, what am I doing in my free time, and my general thoughts. Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, hit that notification bell if you'd like this content. And here we go. I recently completed a hectic year in which I was challenged in more ways than one. This was the most complicated and difficult year I've ever had in my life, which means I ultimately needed a lot of rest and recuperation to get back and reset myself, because I know the upcoming year will be just as challenging as the last one. So I decided to take a few weeks off at the end of 2023 and catch up on much needed rest and free time for myself. But what was I actually going to do with that free time? Well, quite frankly, I've been putting off a lot of things that I haven't done throughout the year for this particular time. These were some of the things that weren't time sensitive or important throughout the last year. And there's also things that I just want to enjoy for enjoyment's sake and just relax and not do anything. This is a way for me to hard reset so I come back into the next year refreshed and ready to go. Because I know there's going to be new and unanticipated challenges for 2024 and I have to be ready for them. So here's a list of things that I do when I usually have free time on my hands. Number 1, clean and organize. Engaging in cleaning and organizing of my apartment is one of the ways I can do a hard reset in my life. And it's a very transformative and rewarding endeavor to actually complete it, because cleaning and organizing gives you a sense of order in your life so you can take it into the future year. Because at the end of the day, reducing all that clutter and organizing things helps your mind be more organized. And you're in a more comforting environment and you don't have all that clutter around you. And cleaning in general can help you with your overall health because you remove all the dust and pollens and allergens that are around your place. And it also helps me to do some spring cleaning to get rid of all the things that I don't need anymore. Because just through the normal accumulation of life, you get a lot of clutter that you don't actually need, especially from my more minimalistic and intentional lifestyle. So if you thought I was going to list something fun for the first bullet point, you're wrong. And I'm sorry to disappoint all those people that think cleaning or organizing isn't fun. As an old person, I can see why people are drawn to cleaning and organizing to help them declutter in their lives. It's just more efficient and easier to move about your space once you've done it. I really got into the habit of labeling things and throwing things I don't ever use away. Although I should naturally do this every couple of weeks, I put it off for at least 4 to 6 months each year. That means by the end of the year, my place is usually a mess, and I'd have to spend a lot of time and preparation to clean it all. But definitely one thing I want to do in my free time is to organize and clean my space. It's definitely not the most fun activity, but it puts my mind in a better state for next year. Number 2, reading for fun. Reading fiction and non-fictional books is great for your personal well-being in life. It helps give you a mental escape from your day-to-day activities and helps relax you. And if you're reading fictional books, it transports you into another world and live out that particular fantasy, which takes away from the daily grind of your real life. But reading for pleasure not only gives you a break, but also improves your cognitive abilities as well. And you're slowing down to deliberately read the words from page to page, book to book. Reading is a great alternative to watching screens all day long. It relaxes you and puts you in a better mood to get great sleep that night. And you can take that book wherever you want to go and read anywhere. I really miss having tons of free time to dedicate just to reading in the afternoon and evening. When I had more time, I would read science fiction books for hours on end into the wee hours of the night. And I would get lost in that book, finishing it from first page to end page in record time. But that was when I had a quiet place all to myself and I had loads of free time in the evening. It was just something that calmed me immensely without having to resort to screens. Reading throughout the years just isn't as fun to me because I have to keep breaking away from reading to do something else. I just don't feel like I have a lot of time to start a book and then finish it later. I might get interrupted 5 pages in and have to start over the very next day, which breaks my concentration. So only having a lot of free time can help me ease myself into a book and finish it. So reading is what I'm going to be doing when I have a lot of free time on my hands. Number 3, think about health. I think about my health and schedule appointments when I have a lot of free time on my hands. This is not only being proactive about my health, but it's essential to my well-being in the long run, because it allows you to think about all the proactive measures that you want to implement when you don't have that free time available to you. And I take this time to think about all the ways that I want to really improve myself for the next year. And the other aspect of this is I just don't have a ton of time throughout the rest of the year to book appointments and get those scheduled doctor's appointments. Even checkups and routine screenings takes time out of my valuable year. And I often forget to take care of myself and just go through the process of booking something. At the end of the day, when I have loads of free time, I feel good about being able to take care of myself proactively. And that relaxes my mind overall and has a positive mental impact on me. Because here's the time where I can plan for my long-term future health. Now that I'm getting older, preventative care is at the forefront of my mind, heading towards my 40s. And now certain parts of my body needs special and attentive care where otherwise it wouldn't have 10, 15 years ago. This means that I have to take more time and care in my body, and I can't just power through things anymore. So when I have free time, I'm always thinking about ways to maximize my health for the longevity. Whether that's doing more hiking, running, yoga, or even screening my blood. This is the best time to do it when I have a bunch of free time to think about my health. And number 4, be bored. Being bored during your free time can be a surprising benefit to your mental well-being. Instead of constantly seeking stimulation, your mind can slow down so you can do some self-reflect and you're more creative because of it. It also provides the mind a chance to take a break and wander, giving you the time and space to think through all the issues that you might be having in your life. And this can help us work through some of those problems that you just didn't have time during the rest of the year. And when you're bored, your mind is getting more rest and relaxation than when you're stimulated. And you can ultimately appreciate the quiet, solitude, and silence much more than when you're constantly stimulated in life. And this can contribute to a more healthier and sustainable lifestyle for your mind. I do sometimes miss the days when I was completely bored out of my mind. And this definitely happened as a child when I had nothing to do on my Saturdays and Sundays. Because when I was bored, I would be at my most creative self. And nowadays, I just don't get a chance to go back and be creative and think through all the things that I need to think through. Nowadays, we are never bored. We have entertainment right at our fingertips. Gone were the days where you just use your imaginations and think through ways to spend your precious free time. When you're constantly on the go, it's just harder to relax and rest. And being bored is a great way to slow down everything in your life and take a respite. So I do hope to be a little bit bored during my free time to help me unwind and think about the things that I haven't thought about in a very long time. And boredom also helps me to think about the future state of where I want to take my life to and help me think through some of the ways that I can optimize and maximize my future life. So I look forward to being bored during my free time. If I can't handle it, at least I have my phone ready. So here are my general thoughts of things I want to do during my free time. I'm constantly shocked by the lack of free time that adults have in the modern age. I couldn't imagine as a child how busy my adult life would be. Because I always thought once I have my own money, I can have all the free time I want in the world. But free time as an adult just doesn't come by as often as I think we should have it. There are just too many distractions in the world, and you have to prioritize free time if you actually want it. For my part, I need to protect my free time whenever I can and make the most out of it. There are very few things more important than your precious free time in life. Because time is the only thing in life that we cannot get back once we've used it. That means I have to be more deliberate and protect my time off whenever I can, and not just use my vacation days for travel or overstimulation. I need to use it appropriately to build in rest and relaxation days whenever I need it. Because sometimes it's okay to take vacation and not do anything with it but relax. So those are some of the things that I want to do during my free time off. Free time isn't something that adults have in spades. And for those of us that have the ability to have free time, it is a massive blessing. We can really take that time off and improve different aspects of our life if we choose to. After a very stressful year, I started to think about what I wanted to do during my free time. And that reflection led me to think about all the things that I used to do when I had loads of free time on my hands. So during the holiday break, I'm focusing on things that really enrich me and brings me back to the roots and help me give a hard reset so that I'm ready and refreshed for the next year. These might not be some of the things that other people want to do with their free time, but for me, it's crucial and important. It's because that's how I manage the stress and intensity in my day-to-day life. So thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below on how much free time do you have and what do you do with that time. And I'll see you next time.